going to show you do a hip carry, Robin's hip carry, and a size 6 woven wrap. So you're going to start this carry by finding your middle marker. So I find it, if yours doesn't have middle marker, you can just fold yours in half. And then make sure that your tails don't get twisted here. So I'm just going to run my hand along them. You're going to need this to put this on the shoulder opposite of where you want your baby. So I'm going to put my baby on my left hip, so this is going to go on my right shoulder. Okay? Once you have your middle marker and it's folded in half, you actually need to pull a couple inches past it. Because you're going to want the middle marker to actually be on your shoulder and then a loop to hang down. So I'll show you what I mean here. There we go. So when I gather this up on my shoulder, you'll see I have a little loop here where it's folded, and it's not quite in half because I have my tag right here, and then the rest of my wrap hangs down a little bit. So then what you're going to do is I like to hold my hand through this loop here so I don't lose it. You're going to reach behind your back and get the wrap that's closest to you, the side that's closest to you, and bring your hand down to make sure that it doesn't get twisted. It should be inside out at this point. So you're going to bring that across your body and gather it up, and I grab it with that hand that's through the loop and pull it through. I'm going to take a minute here to make sure it didn't get twisted when I pulled it through. So here's my top rail, the one that's closest to my chin, and I'm just going to follow it through this pocket. And so that's this rail right here, still my top rail, so it didn't get twisted when I pulled it through. You're going to make a pocket for your baby to be sitting in, so depending on the size of your baby, it's going to determine the size of the pocket that you need. So I'm going to be doing this with a newborn doll who's pretty small, so I still need just a little bit of room. I would put my hand to bring it to about where my ribs are, so I'll just pull this to tighten it, or pull here to loosen it if you needed yours bigger. So I would put it about my hip, here we go, for a toddler carry, but since I'm doing it for a newborn, I'm just going to pull this to tighten it up to about my ribs for my newborn. That just helps you pre-size it so you don't have so much tightening to do later. So now at this point I'm ready to get my child. I'm going to put them on the same shoulder where I have that loop for them to sit in. So that shoulder where there is not fabric going over it. I'm going to hold baby up on my shoulder while I reach through the wrap and pull both of their legs through. Sorry, then I'm going to grab the top rail here and pull it up to the back of baby's neck. I'm going to make a seat while I have this here. So I'm going to be pulling the fabric, all this extra fabric down in between us and going up for them to sit on. You're going to want the fabric to go knee to knee while they sit in this M position. Let me get mine positioned here and I'll show you. So that means that their bum should be lower than their knees. Their knees should be higher than their bum. Okay. So I want to make sure that I have this fabric pulled up to about belly button or the top of the diaper. Okay. So now that I have baby in here positioned pretty well, I'm going to want to tighten this now and also tie it up. So I'm going to do that by bringing this other wrap that's on here, this other side, finding the side to make sure that it doesn't get twisted, and bringing that around. This one should be the right side facing out, the side that you want facing out, facing out. So I'm going to use this to help tighten up where I want baby. So I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to want this this knot here to be, I guess it's not really a knot, but this pass to be pretty high on my shoulder. So I'm just going to tighten this up. If I want to do some strand by strand tightening to get the top rail, the middle rail, and the bottom rail nice and snug across my back, I can do that. After I have that nice and snug, sorry baby, I'm going to hold that under baby's bum while I work on tightening this pass again, because you see it's gotten a little loose. You can tell by my top rail it's a little loose right here. So I'm going to want to make sure that I can tighten that up before I tie it off. So I'm just going to hold this with one hand that's also supporting baby while I go through here and again strand by strand tighten. That's why I wanted to make sure it wasn't twisted. So I'm going to start with my top rail and pull that. Then I'm going to go down And just pull what I need to pull. Alright, mine looks pretty snug here. So I'm going to give it a final pull by going both ways. There we go. Nice and snug. Pull this one again. Make sure I don't have any loose parts and I didn't pop baby's feet. Okay, then you're going to go over baby's legs. And depending on the length of your wrap, you can tie right here. Mine's pretty long to do that. Baby, your head. There we go. So I still have a lot of tail left, so I'm not actually going to tie here. If you were, you would just double knot here. So instead of tying here, make sure I don't get it loose. I'm just going to cross over baby's legs, then go under baby's legs, your tiny little baby leg, and I'm going to go around and tie in my back. And I'm just going to do a double knot, keep it nice and tight. Then I'm going to check on my baby's positioning here because it felt like her leg got a little funny over here if you notice. So I'm going to want to pull this rail back up, make sure I get her in that nice seated M position. You can spread this pass over your shoulder for comfort. If I can grab it. There we go. Alright, let's see. Do you have your M? So that's how you would put baby and hip carry. Robin's hip carry. Thank you.